Joburgers, there's a new man leading your city. He's newly elected Executive Mayor Thapelo Ahmad. He's promised to prioritize service delivery. He's also hit the ground running, literally.
Well, Ahmad is taking part in a cleanup campaign in Lenasia, but the daunting task, however, will be turning around the city's finances so that he can provide services to frustrated residents. What is the plan to achieve this? Well, let's find out from the mayor himself, who joins us now for the conversation. Mayor Thapelo, thank you so much for your time this morning. A very good morning to you. The residents of the city of Johannesburg are tired of not knowing which mayor to wake up to every single morning. It is daunting, it is unnecessary, and I think it's time for us to actually focus on the services being delivered to our people. Are you, number one, going to at least be at the job long enough so that we can see some real tangible change in the city of Johannesburg?
Thank you, Faith. Indeed, we need changes in the city of Johannesburg. The city is dilapidating. I've been invited by a ward councillor in Ward 9 in Region G. Immediately after I was elected yesterday. So because it was one of my priorities to make sure or to ensure that the services gets to our people, I had to come here first to do an oversight, and this is a great initiative that is initiated by the community members, including the councillor of the ward. So they have a cleanup campaign in Lenasia. They call it Operation Cleanup Lenasia. So I am here. I'm not capacitated as yet because I still need to constitute a mayoral committee or a mayoral team. So you know that there's still discussions underway. So on Monday, most probably we will capacitate, and then moving forward, when there are initiatives like this, we will employ human resource or human capital, so that the city and its officials, they make sure or they see to it that the city is clean, and the services are delivered to the residents.
Do the residents of Johannesburg, can they at least, Mayor, believe that you are not part of some chess game here, a political chess game here where you are? I know you did confirm that you are no one's proxy, you are no particular party's proxy, which then I would imagine you're saying you are here for the residents of Johannesburg and to deliver for them. Can the residents of Johannesburg believe that? Because we have had about, I think you're the 7th mayor to come out in just 2 years. Can we actually believe that you will not be embroiled in a political fight with, the coalition members, and that you are going to be boots on the ground delivering for us?
Look, I'm democratically elected. I was elected yesterday. Unfortunately, I haven't constituted my mayoral team. I am here alone without any other political affiliation. So it's a clear demonstration that there aren't strings. I don't know. I cannot speak to me being a proxy or people using me to play their chess game. I don't know where are those discussions sponsored from. What I know is that there was a council process that is democratic that elected me yesterday. Monday, probably, or rather Monday, definitely I'm going to be sworn in, and probably I'll be sworn in together with my mayoral team, and then from there we'll invite all the stakeholders that needs to deliver services to our residents.
Yeah. Mayor, though you do not have, as you've accepted, a mayoral team as yet, but surely as what you should have as the incoming mayor is a vision for the city of Johannesburg. Because I think at this particular moment in time, the city needs a visionary, somebody with an actual plan and purpose for this city. It will take the team to implement the vision, but it does not mean that you do not have that vision. So if I were to ask you, Mayor Thapelo, what is your vision for the city of Johannesburg?
Look, when you grew up, I grew up in Soweto. I used to go to the inner city. This is a flashback. The inner city, Johannesburg, which was the capital of the city itself, the CBD. I know when people like me who grew up in Soweto, you would even take a bath and wear your festive clothes. We used to call them Christmas clothes or New Year's clothes, solely for you to be in that particular environment. But today you walk into that space, It is dilapidated, it is in shambles, it is dirty, there's a stench. So my priorities is to resuscitate the economy of the city. That is a main priority. We need stakeholder engagement, we need private sector, we need to arrest the situation from where it is right now. I can assure you that maybe the only existing economy in the inner city, the CBD, it is the banking sector. We need to instill the confidence of investment in the inner city. That is my first priority.
One of the major issues, of course, facing the country, but also facing Johannesburg, is the electricity crisis. There are actually those right now who are unable to watch this chat that we are having with you, Joburg residents who are unable to watch this conversation because they're sitting in stage 3 blackouts. Your predecessor, Dr. Mpho had, been quite vocal about her intentions to try and, find a way to ensure that Johannesburg is not affected by the national electricity crisis. Where on the list of priorities is that for you?
You put it out there that the outgone executive mayor had a plan. We are in that same office now. We'll sit down because the plan doesn't belong to her. The plan belongs to the city. If that plan is really there indeed, we'll sit down and we'll interrogate. If it is an implementable plan, we'll definitely implement, because anything that champions the services for our people, we will implement. Over and above our political differences, what is more critical, we are mandated by you, we are mandated by voters. This is where we come in, and if anyone advocates for a common cause to deliver services to our residents, we'll definitely do so.
Yeah. Whether it was a game of politics, Mayor, or it was just, posturing, political posturing and speak. But obviously the outgoing Mayor, Dr. Mpho, even in numerous media kind of presentations, was lamenting how different political parties, particularly in this case the African National Congress, was trying to get their hands on the city's purse, right? That the bigger picture here was to be able to loot and steal money from the city of Johannesburg. You're coming in now as a new mayor, but you're also coming into a very politically contentious situation and climate. How then do you start guaranteeing not only those that you are serving within the political party of Al Jama'ah, but also us as residents, that you will not allow any political party to get their hands in the cookie jar at the expense of residents, that money will not be looted from the city of Johannesburg to favor just the ones that are supposed to be politically affiliated, that money will actually be used for what it's intended to?
Look, I am in no liberty to speak on behalf of any other political party, but rest assured that corruption doesn't see a political color, corruption doesn't see a political skin. So if people are corrupt, people must account to the justice systems which are there. We have our judiciary systems, and if anyone is found to be corrupt and stealing from the coffers of the city, I would blatantly say they need to be arrested, because that money is entrusted to us as politicians to deliver the services of our residents.
Just before we let you go, Mayor, we know that, of course, you do have quite a bit that you need to be doing. Johannesburg residents, and I think South Africans at large, are impatient. They are tired of what it is they've been put through. So I want to go back to the point that Faith raised about you being a visionary and what your vision is. Does that vision have a timeline? We are going into general elections next year, and what you do, should you be still around in that seat until next year, I think maybe April, May, will probably be will influence where voters go in terms of who they want to bring into power, or if we continue with the coalition. So does your vision, do your plans, do your priorities have a particular timeline? Can you say to Johannesburg residents that I can do certain things that are maybe sitting top 5 of my list by a certain time?
What is my top priority right now? One is to fill up the vacancies of senior managers in the city of Johannesburg. The outgone administration has been there with acting arrangements. So what is critically important is for us to close those gaps. And then mainly my personal vision, I think one fundamental issue that contributes to crimes of South Africa is that there's there's no employment. There isn't youth employment. There isn't women empowerment. So in the interim, as a remedy, I also want to create a food bank that will also talk to those social ills and people, vagrants that are sleeping on the streets. We need to set aside a space where they can be housed. And then we invite all the frontline organizations where these people will know that at least there's a meal in the morning and there's a meal late at night when they go to bed, so that we minimize this issue of people standing on the intersections and begging from the windows, because it exposes the residents and motorists to elements of crime.
Yeah. Mayor, you know, this may be, and it really is coming from the bottom, I think, of myself as well as the residents of the city of Johannesburg. Tell you what, we need you to be able to do your job, and we need to be able to give you the time for you to do your job, which means that we need less politics and more implementation. How then do you start guaranteeing the residents of the city of Johannesburg that come next week or in 2 weeks' time, or heck, even in a month's time, that Mayor Thapelo, you will no longer be at the seat, that there will be somebody else again? Because you know what? That hampers on the very same vision that you've got for the city of Johannesburg, and that hampers on implementation that needs to go with the city of Johannesburg as well. So how do you guarantee us, as the residents of the city, that you will still be mayor come next month or 2 months' time, so that you can actually implement the vision that you have?
As a mayor, I'm democratically elected by council, and the only reason for me to accept me resigning, if I were to resign, the only reason that would make me vacate that office, it is the same democratic process that elected me into that council. So if there are any arrangements elsewhere, I do not know of those arrangements, because I can tell you now that on Monday I will be sworn in, officially so, by the judge. And in that swearing in arrangement, I don't think there's an interim that will be highlighted in that me being sworn in as a mayor in my capacity in the city of Johannesburg.
Mayor, congratulations for assuming what is one of the hottest seats in Gauteng, I think, and we can only but hope that you are able to see through your visions, and that we'll be having a conversation with you perhaps a little later on in the year to just look back at what it is you would have done in the time that you are in this seat. So all the best with what it is you are about to do. We'll leave it there with you for this morning. That is the incoming Johannesburg Executive Mayor, Thapelo Ahmad, who of course was elected to that seat just yesterday. And it is a strong point that you are making, Faith, is can you promise the people of the city that we will not be talking to a different executive mayor
in a month?
At the start of, let's say, March,
Oof.
you know, because we've seen that happen. Yes, some mayorships, you know, have come to an end due to unfortunate situations like death, but we've seen a political power play here. We've seen a political chess game here, and we can only but hope as we build up to the elections next year that we are not talking to 3 different mayors between now and then.